Man,
The Empowerment Show aims to equip individuals with the necessary tools, knowledge, and confidence to make informed decisions and take control of their lives. It also focuses on ensuring access to essential resources and the opportunities.
so G Money.
Nah, my
All
name
right,
Manny. You said
Manny.
G Money. Yeah, my name Manny. Low Flight Manny or OG Manny,
Manny.
man. That's G
OG
Money.
Manny. That's
Yeah.
what we going by. OG
All
Manny.
right.
That's your name.
All right.
All
All
right.
right.
So welcome to the Gifted Gorilla Show, man.
Okay. Okay. Peace. Welcome to be here.
Okay.
Definitely good to be here.
We empowered by Kendall, the host, which is the empowerment show. Okay.
Okay.
So we a branch off of that.
Okay.
So he talk about certain stuff and I talk about certain stuff. Now, I've been through a lot and I heard you've been through a lot. So let me understand, give me a breakdown of you, who you are.
Well, first and foremost, I'm a BLK man, which is black man. You feel me?
Okay.
Revolutionary, intelligent, militant. You know, I'm a father, a son. You know, great leader. By the cause for people, for the people. Great leader for the people through struggle, through hardship, through adversity, through whatever changes. I'm gonna stand on the front line for my people. So I'm gonna say that entrepreneur, a
Okay.
lot of things. I'm a lot of things. What?
Okay.
A lot of things.
All right.
I sum it up as a great black man, though. Word.
Powerful black man.
Powerful, right?
There you go. Okay. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding.
Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is the key. That's a fact.
360 degrees decipher degree.
Absolutely. But the
Okay.
application is the
Okay.
is the main is the key to success. Is the application. The
Yeah.
knowledge could be there, but without the application of the knowledge, no changes can occur. So
Uh,
you gotta apply yourself.
so do you think a lot of youth these days apply themselves to the application these
Well,
days?
I believe that a lot of the youth don't know and they lack the knowledge of self and the understanding of the universe and the interdependence of everything from religion to school to doctrine to race in general. Is all interdependent, and they separated so much through the years of the trials we faced, slavery, and other things. It caused us to be so stagnant and backwards that we can't identify with the knowledge and the wisdom. So I think education is prominent. It got to be preached all over again, and it takes us as the people who have the knowledge to demonstrate these things. So that's
Okay.
that's what my build is now. Yeah.
And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
How old am I? I'm 42.
42.
42. 42 years young.
Okay. Your birthday, if you don't mind me asking, you could just say the month.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm good with it. September 8th,
Okay.
1982, man. I'm an 80s baby.
Okay, September 8th. All right. You an 80s baby.
Yeah, that's a
January
fact.
15th, 1983, man. I'm an 80s baby too.
All right.
42.
Give me
Yep.
one second. One
All
second,
right.
please. One second.
Oh, okay. You can do it.
The Empowerment
About to get up out of here. So,
Okay. Let me know
yeah,
when
you
you're ready.
hear me? I apologize. Yeah,
It's cool. It's all right.
that's what
So
it is.
you just transferred the seats.
Yeah. Because my
Okay.
girl about to drive.
All
My
right.
girl about to drive and shit. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So
So I could talk to you. So I could give you my attention.
perfect. So now I heard that you was incarcerated for a little bit.
Right, right.
Okay. I don't want you to give me the
Turn up
full
the AC.
details, but just give me a little rundown
Mm.
on
I'm listening.
Just give me a rundown on, like how you felt then and how you feel now. The difference of the mentality of adulthood from childhood.
All right. Well, I could tell you this, right? And we could go in depth about a couple of things because in order to get to prison, we have to get to where I came from. You know what I mean? And how I was raised and how I view life in general. So growing up, I come from a single household, right?
Okay.
With a mother who had three kids at a young age. I'm gonna say at all right, 19, 20, she had me and my sister. About 26 years old, my mom's had three kids, you
Yeah.
know, and it was by two different men. By the age of 26, she had three kids by two different men. My
Okay.
father, who was you know, a guy, and this is why I don't go by the name, my first name, Demetrius, right? Because my pops named me that, but then he broke out. He had a whole nother family that my mom's found out about. And
Okay.
when she found out, she had my sister and she was pregnant with me. So while I was pregnant, I was like that bastard kid. I was that kid that, the parents wasn't
Black sheep.
sure if they would, yeah, the black sheep. I was that kid that from the birth I was counted out. Like
Count.
my mom
Dang.
was actually gonna abort me because of my
Mm.
pops. You know what I mean? Because of the errors of my pops, but she had me.
I'm
So,
crazy, man.
I believe I was blessed and I was a gift, you know what I mean? That's specially here because she was going to board me and she decided at the last minute not to do it. You know what I mean? So the name Manny is what she gave me.
Okay.
And the name that my pop signed at the birth certificate never stood. Manny just stuck with me all my life because that's what my mom's named me. Right?
Yeah.
So it starts there. The struggle started right there from birth. You know what I mean?
And that's
That,
what I
that
want to hear,
just
yo.
think, yeah, just think about it. Just think about you know, your life or you knowing that you wasn't supposed to be here. Like God called you here, and then the human species said, nah, we don't want you. And then it was just another spirit that was like, nah, he gotta stay. You know what I
Hey,
mean? Like,
let's
so when I
if
think about those things, and then later on in my life, I was shot up where I died and they brought me back. So that was my second time that I realized, yo, oh shit, you got a purpose. And then the third time is the incarceration trips, being protected throughout my time in there and meeting with certain brothers who seen my glow, who seen the better side of me, who seen that I was worth something in the world. And they was like, yo, man, nah, we ain't letting him fall victim to the things that the
dang,
penitentiary can create. And books was given, a strict
it's
a
crazy,
strict a
man.
strict system was presented to me, working out, reading, certain things that I didn't care for when I was free as a kid, you know what I mean, because I was so backwards and caught up in that whole street mentality, the drug dealing, the gang banging, seeing the things that all these youth see
Mm.
today and glorify and believe that is the way, you know what I mean. It took me years to realize it, like, because I was so caught up in the gang culture and being loyal to default that I couldn't see clearly the messages that God was giving me. It wasn't
Dang,
until I
see,
became like 34, 35 that I really started seeing clearly what my purpose was. You know what I mean?
OG
So
Manny.
yeah, yeah, I can actually say that my walk in prison, it was based off of respect and dignity. So therefore, I stayed in some shit in there, but I never stopped educating myself. Never stopped educating myself. Yeah,
Okay, let me stop you right quick, okay?
yeah,
You broke down the breakdown. All right. So
yeah.
this so how much time did you do, young man?
In total, I did 23 years. Total, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm 42. Yeah, so that's
So it was
majority,
like
more than half of my life. More than half.
was it at one time or you got out, went back
Nah,
in?
it was split up. It was split up. I say the first stretch, I say 10 years because I did 3 in DFY and I came home for a short period and did 7 straight.
Okay.
And then I came home from that for 6 months and did another 5 straight. You
Okay.
know what I mean? I just finished 4 years and I gave them about a few in violations. So, you know
Damn.
what I mean? It's like what I could tell you was that it almost feel like like it was straight because I probably had a year in between,
Each one.
6 months here, 5 months there, in between each stretch. You know what I mean? So,
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
it's
you hear me?
crazy.
I ain't gonna talk a lot. I'm gonna just say one sentence. All right.
Yeah,
Yo, you sound like me, gang.
yeah,
But we're gonna move on. All right. We can talk
right.
later. We got, we can link up after the situation.
Similarities, right,
Da- Damn. But let's stay on focus. Let's stay focused. All right.
right, right.
Sounds so familiar, man. Like, so what was
Shout
your
out to your
key?
hat too. That Kango is dope, man. I had
Appreciate it,
one. I
man.
lost. I had the beanie. I had the Kango beanie. I lost it.
Word.
Word. I had the beanie like that. Yeah,
That thing
that's
nice, ain't it?
dope though.
Appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Old school
Appreciate it.
vibes, 80s vibes. Yeah.
Word. That's that LL Cool J type joint.
LL Cool J, Run DMC. Yeah,
Look, he we the same age, so we on the same page.
no
So
doubt.
check it out. So I know, let's go to break and then I'm gonna ask you this question. Okay?
Okay, for
We
sure.
gotta uh
That work.
all
Stuff, but it's school and it's gonna take like a week to really see.
right, G Money, we back.
Peace, peace.
Peace. So
He keep calling me G Money, man.
my Manny, OG Manny, my bad,
Low
OG
life
Manny.
Manny, OG
It's just
Manny, just Manny, not G Money though.
okay, Manny.
Hey yo, you know what's so funny, right? What's so funny is that I've been told I look like G Money, the dude
um,
that played G Money off of New Jack City. Like
nah, it's
people
not
that
like
told me this. So when
um,
you
just a little bit.
a little bit, I
Yeah,
don't believe that, but I've been
you
told that. So I'm thinking you keep saying that because of that resemblance. But
nah.
all
I
right,
ain't know nobody call you that before.
all right,
But um, nah, it's just I'm an old school guy.
right.
I grew up, my daddy hustling in the basement, bell bottoms on, but we're not gonna go there. We're going back to
I
you.
get it.
We're going back to you. So I know it was a transformation from being in and coming home in between each times, right? So the
Right.
first 10 years you did, when you came home, what was your mentality then?
All right, I'm gonna put it straight out there. I got locked up young. I started young, so I didn't have no thought of changing my first bed.
Okay.
My my first bed, I was 19 years old. I was heavily active in the gang culture, and I had a I had a big following in the streets, fan base. Brothers that was from the streets that I adopted the same culture and belief system I adopted. So, at that age, I ain't gonna lie, all I thought about was expanding my name, expanding my reputation, and actually coming home and doing the same thing I was doing, but safer, trying to do it a different way, to succeed. So
Be
it was
smarter.
like that first bid. I actually had told them when I went in, like, yo, I could do 15 more years. Like, I'm gonna be down for the cause. I'm gonna be out putting on for my set, and I die for that. Like, so
Okay.
at that age, I was so ignorant and blinded. But also, I would like to say that that's the part of me, the growth in me that want to identify with, you know, being ignorant.
Yeah.
The other side of me is saying God created me to go through that trials, to create who I am today. So it's not regretting my past or refusing my times. It's just accepting it for what it was, and learning. You feel me? And learning. So I
Yeah,
don't
man.
know. I don't know if I want to say I wish I could do it over, or just be thankful for what I've been blessed with, and say, I if it's meant to be, whatever's to come, it's gonna come. You know?
Yo, these conversations, gang, like bringing back a lot of memories right now. It's like emotional for me. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
But I have to keep going, yo. But
yeah, yeah.
it's crazy, yo. This is crazy. But so you didn't. Your mind frame was still the same after the
Yeah,
first bid.
the first 10 years,
It
the
was
first
still the
10 years,
same.
I was still on it. I was still heavy involved. Like it wasn't no changing at that time, man. I ain't see a reason to change. I'm gonna
Okay.
be honest with you. Like, when you go through some street stuff, some traumatic experiences, family issues, and you make that transition to the streets from your family, from your household, 9 times out of 10, you you know you already signed up for whatever it's gonna be, whether prison, death, whatever it's gonna be. You think you already figured it out, and you think you already grown enough to accept it. So you like, it may sound cool, it may be just what it is. We don't know. I just know
Okay.
at that time I wasn't thinking about no change. That's
Yeah.
all I could say. I wasn't thinking about changing at that time. I was
Okay.
thinking about school. I was thinking about pleasing my mother. You know what I mean?
Word.
Those are the things that was on my mom. My mom said, get an education. So I was
Okay.
thinking about going to school to get a diploma and get some college credits or something, just to make her happy. Like, yeah, ma, I did it for you. You know what I mean? That
Word.
was my mentality. Yeah.
So so I'm gonna get a little bit deeper for on. It'll probably go over a few people head, but I'm gonna get a little bit deeper with you. All right.
Right.
So you said the change started when you was 36, 37. You said 35.
Yeah. Around 34.
That's when the reality kicked in.
Yeah. That's why I believe that when they say men become men in their 30s, not
Yeah.
in their 20s, I believe
Okay.
that your maturity kicks in and around your 30s as a man. I believe that.
Okay. So we're gonna eventually have a part two to this.
Right. Right.
So I can't ask all the questions that I want to right now. So I'm gonna just keep it simple to what I want to know and what the people want to hear. And then we go back to the next time and go between the cracks of each one where we left off at. Cool?
Yeah, the
Yep.
transition of my life really occurred during my second bid,
Okay.
because that's when my kids was in play.
Okay.
During my second bid, I had my ex-wife was pregnant with my
You about
first son. She
you
was
was
3 months
29.
pregnant.
You was
Huh?
29 then?
I was 27.
27. Okay. Go ahead.
I was 27 then.
All right,
Yeah,
27.
yeah, because I got locked up 19, turning 20. I did 7 years, and I
Cool.
maxed out on that. So yeah,
All right.
I was 27 when I came home. And my high school, she was my high school, sweetheart, I should say, because
Mm,
she really had a lot of love for me, and I was like, everywhere. I was in the streets and doing the most. So I could say that that female, she had went to the military and came back home. So she was in the Iraq war and all of that. That 7 years I was in prison doing my first bid, she was in the military, and we were happen to come back at the same time. She got deployed from Iraq in '08, and I was coming home at the end of '08 in December. And we
yeah.
wound up linking and getting back together, and she wound up getting pregnant with my first kid. And I was home for 3 months and ended back in prison. You
Damn.
understand what I'm saying? Yeah, facing another trial, another charge for assault on correctional officer, and alleged drug possession that they never confiscated. But and yeah, because I had a second offense of assault on police official, they wanted to give me the minimum, which was 5 years on a D felony assault in the second degree.
Okay.
Now, in this situation, I wanted to go to trial because I was mistreated, because I was pulled over, harassed, and I took him on a high speed chase. I admit to that. You know,
Okay.
they say they say I knocked the officer out or whatever the case may be to get away. They say I took him on a high speed chase and I did like 130, and thanks to the grace of God I didn't crash to hurt myself. But what they did was I did crash. So if somebody crashes after doing a certain amount of speed, they in a state of almost unconsciousness. They
Yeah.
still tased me on top of me not being resistant because I crashed,
Word.
right? Yeah, they beat me up and tased me, and they justified the tasing and the beat up with pressing charges on me.
That's
You know?
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So it was like, being that my first offense was protecting myself against the correctional officers while I was incarcerated. I started with a bid for a year and turned it to 7 years. I didn't have a whole 7 year bid. You know what I mean? Like, so that yeah. So it was like, yeah. So it was like all my cases came about against the system and justice.
Damn.
You feel me? And I
Word.
always say, I believe that it was because of things I got away for in the streets that I didn't get caught for. So they
Yeah.
felt like, yo, he's a menace. We got to set him down. So the
Yeah.
first opportunity they got to sit me down,
They
they
got
did
you.
it. And then it happened. They wouldn't let me get a shot to be free.
Damn.
I'm talking about coming home, boy, parole, the Suffolk County,
I
correctional
know,
officer.
man.
Everybody's notified. And I was like high alert, high risk,
Damn.
CMC, and yeah, it was totally like it was a lot. It was a
So
lot, and that's made my transition on my kids.
check
My
this out.
kids was yeah,
Okay. Just a quick little sentence. I want to say a sentence here and there. Okay. Cool. So when I was 18, I went to juvenile at 17, got locked up at 18, and went to the county jail as an adult. The first plea they offered me was 65 years, man. And I was still a kid, yo. I just turned 18. You
yeah.
feel
See,
me?
that's how I started. I started at 15. I was
Yeah.
15 to 18 in DFY juvenile.
See? So I'm just letting you know that I feel you, I understand
Right.
everything that you're saying. Get me? So listen, I hear all that. I understand all that. We're gonna get back to all that on the second part. But this part, this we got like 7 minutes left. So I want to talk about what you doing today that is what are you doing today to better yourself?
Okay. Well, I mean, my transition and my course of actions began I'd say about 7 years ago. I went on this
Okay.
path where spiritual path since 2014, right? And I decided that through all my trials and tribulations and all the hardships and adversities I went through, it created a better man in me, a revolutionary minded man. You feel me? From
Yeah.
being in prison and seeing the injustice, the oppression, the everything that was negative, I wanted to transform it into a positive. So while I was incarcerated, I applied myself. I went to the ACO program, African Culture Organization, where I studied um, Kemetic science, Egyptology, Kushite, you know what I mean? Studies the Yoruba tradition, which is called modern day Santeria. I started getting into the roots and history,
Yeah.
learning revolutionary history, learning black history, learning European history, learning world history. I started educating myself and wanting to learn more about life, about people, about just,
Man.
everything that I didn't know. I was open to learn. And that gave me a passion for the people to build the youth and redirect. So I came up with a foundation called Liddy for Kids, which
Yeah.
means living inspiration transforms troublesome youth. Being that I was one of them troubled youth, I feel like it's not enough big brothers or big sisters out here who really care. So I say, yo, I'm gonna step out this time with a passion to creating a change for the youth and a leading by example of what it is to be a black revolutionary intelligent man. So,
That's
connecting
deep,
from
yo.
east to west and trying to bring a difference is my whole goal. So
That's
yeah,
deep.
no doubt.
So you see a change in yourself
Yeah,
from since then.
uh, I changed tremendously. I
Okay.
changed tremendously, and
Do you make music?
yes, I do. I absolutely do. That's why, like it says, Loaf Life Manny, aka formerly OG Manny Brim. I say formerly because I don't gang bang no more. I'm not preaching anything to be, glorifying a gang culture. Even though I still affiliate, I still
Yeah.
communicate, I still have friends and family that's in it. So it's like, for doing something since you were 15 years old, I'm 42. It don't matter when I stop actively gang banging. Just knowing people in the history is gonna keep you in tune. And for me personally, it's like
What's that mean?
I'm not
You see that?
glorifying it no more. I want people to understand though that gangs will always exist because it's
All
government ran. You understand what I'm saying? The
always,
conditions,
dude.
the
Always.
conditions. I'm gonna give you an old Jew from Huey P. Newton and George Jackson. They said revolution is caused from the conditions. It's not
Yeah.
caused by anything other than the people. So
Facts.
when you see a system that's operating off of oppression or misconduct, it leads the people to have to unify. So this is what gangs came about from. It was really like the Crips, community reform, community revolution in progress, or the Bloods, Black Liberation Operation off the fence. You know what I mean? Or Brotherly Love overriding oppressive destruction. Every gang has an acronym of positivity, which is formed to utilize, to integrate, and to unite the people who are being mistreated, the people who are the have-nots. So it's like you know the issue is when the gang activity is negative, when you
Yeah.
committing crimes. So that's the problem. So my whole
That's
purpose
crazy.
is to
That's crazy.
redirect the mindsets of gang members and gang leaders to being productive people in society and not looking at a color, but looking at the conduct.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? The
Uh-huh.
conduct of people being unified and being together and creating a better life. You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
better community, a better neighborhood, a better whatever. It's just to uplift. That's my purpose. My purpose is to help uplift everybody. Everybody that's part of the black,
That's
brown,
peace.
white. I don't care what you is. I'm pro black because this is the way I was raised and how I grew up.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Being
Word.
affected. I see my people being affected. So I feel like in order to help a outside race, you gotta be right within yourself first. So
Damn,
I,
G.
so my people gotta be
Positive.
gotta be situated before I could go out trying to help Mexicans and whites and whoever else. You know what I mean? So that's my
Positive.
purpose, man.
Word.
Yeah,
I like it.
no doubt.
Word. So we're gonna do a part two. All right?
Okay.
If that's cool with you.
Yeah. I definitely would
Um,
like it. I wouldn't mind, man.
next time
But
it'll be a
ain't
little different, okay?
okay. But check this out, man. Just for y'all to know, man. Y'all can check me out. It's Loaf Life Manny, LOAFLYFEMANNY.
What
And my
hold on.
music name,
Go ahead. What is it again?
Loaf,
Google?
LOAFLYFEMANNY. Right? My Instagram is loaf underscore life underscore Manny. That's my Instagram. My YouTube is Loaf Life Manny from Chains to Change or Loaf Life TV. Pardon me, I changed it from Loaf Life Manny to Loaf Life TV
Low
from
Life
Change to
TV.
Change. That's my YouTube. And Manny Loaf Life Phillips, my TikTok. I monitorize on all platforms. So I do content creation, I do podcasting, I do music. I got my own music and promotion company called Loaf Life Music. Um I'm the CEO of that, Loaf Life
Yeah,
Manny. And
I
like I
I think
do,
I
my
found it.
content on YouTube is OG Manny Prim. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I was an OG of the 5'9" Prims and then NYBBA. And from east to west, I represented. And now I'm preaching the need for change. I'm doing different things.
I think I found you just
Subscribe,
now.
you know what I mean, on all platforms of Loaf Life Manny.
Yeah,
And shout out to you too, brother.
yeah.
Word.
So check this out. We're gonna give a shout out to the, the own the founder of the empowerment show, Kendall, the host. We're gonna shout out to him. Then we're gonna shout out the gifted gorilla, the pipeline. Okay. Then we're gonna see you on part 2.
Okay.
We're gonna let the people know because all this is recorded and it's on live. So it's more
Okay.
cameras around it where I'm at as well. So it's not just this one. It's about to be all over. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna move it around. So
Okay.
we'll see
Okay.
a part 2, yo. So just keep your seatbelt on. Y'all have fun tonight. And thank you for the show. I appreciate you coming. And we'll see you for part 2. Cool?
Salute. Part two.
Peace. Peace.
Peace.